Hello friends, welcome back to my channel View Tutorials. In this video we will discuss about cell and tube type heat exchanger calculations. In intercoolers, boilers, preheaters and condensers inside power plants as well as other engineering process, heat exchangers are used for controlling heat energy. Heat exchangers are devices that regulate efficient heat transfer from one fluid to another. There are two main types of heat exchangers. The first type of a heat exchanger is called the recuperative type, in which heat are exchanged on either side of a dividing wall by fluids. The second type is regenerative type, in which hot and cold fluids are in the same space, which contain a matrix of materials which work alternatively as source of heat flow. The optimum thermal design of a cell and tube heat exchangers involve the consideration of many interacting design parameters, which can be summarized as follows. Process fluid assignments to cell side or tube side, selection of stream temperatures specifications, setting cell side and tube side pressure drop design limits, setting cell side and tube side velocity limits, selection of heat transfer models and fouling coefficients for cell side and tube side. Second one is mechanical. Selection of heat exchanger, TEMA layout and number of passes. Specification of tube parameters, size, layout, pitch and material. Setting upper and lower design limits on tube length. Specification of cell side parameters, materials, baffles cut, baffle spacing and clearance. Setting upper and lower design limits on cell diameter, baffle cut and baffle spacing. Basic concept of specific heat. Specific heat is defined as the amount of heat energy needed to rise 1 gram of a substance 1 degree Celsius in temperature, or the amount of energy needed to rise 1 pound of a substance 1 degree Fahrenheit in temperature. Q is equal to m into Cp into T2 minus T1, where Q is heat energy in joule or BTU, M is mass of substance in kilograms or pound, Cp is specific heat of the substance in joule kg degree Celsius and in BTU per pound per Fahrenheit. T2 minus T1 is the change in temperature in degree Celsius and degree Fahrenheit. The higher the specific heat, the more energy is required to cause a change in temperature. Substances with higher specific heats require more of heat energy to lower temperature than do substances with a low specific heat. Example: using metric units and imperial units, how much energy is required to heat 350 grams, 0.77 pounds of gold from 10 degrees Celsius to 50 degrees Celsius. So mass is 350 gram, so convert in kg is 0.35 and 0.77 lb. Specific heat of gold is 0.129 joule per gram degree Celsius, and further convert we found 0.0308 BTU per LB Fahrenheit. Q is M into Cp into T2 minus T1. So metric units, Q is equal to 0.35 kg into 129 joule per kg degree Celsius into 50 minus 10. So Q is 1806 joule. Conversion 1806 joules into 0.000947, so 1.71 BTU. Evaluation in BTU, Q is equal to M into Cp into T2 minus T1. So imperial units, Q is equal to 0.77 IB into 0.0308 BTU per LB degree Fahrenheit into 122 minus 50. So Q is 1.71 BTU. Some sample of specific heat values are presented in the table below for your reference. The main basic heat exchanger equations are as follows. Q is equal to U into A into delta Tm. The log mean temperature difference delta Tm is equal to T1 minus T2 minus T2 minus T1 upon log in T1 minus T2 upon T2 minus T1, where capital T1 is inlet tube side fluid temperature and small t2 is outlet cell side fluid temperature. T2 is outlet tube side fluid temperature and small t1 is inlet cell side fluid temperature. When used as a design equation to calculate the required heat transfer surface area, the equation can be rearranged to become as follows. A is equal to Q divided by U into delta Tm, where A is heat transfer area in meter square and feet square. Q is heat transfer rate is kilojoule per hour or BTU per hour. U is overall heat transfer coefficient in kilojoule per hour meter square degree Celsius or BTU per hour Fahrenheit. Delta Tm is long mean temperature difference in degree Celsius and degree Fahrenheit, and Ct is liquid specific heat tube side kilojoule per kg degree K and BTU per LB degree Fahrenheit. Cs is liquid specific heat cell side kilojoule per kg degree Kelvin and BTU per LB degree Fahrenheit. The overall design process. Here is a set of steps for the process. Design of a heat exchanger is an iterative trial and error process. First is calculate the required heat transfer rate in BTU per hour from specified information about fluid flow rate and temperatures. Second is make an initial estimate of the overall heat transfer coefficient based on the fluids involved. Third is calculate the long mean temperature difference delta Tm from the inlet and outlet temperature of the two fluids. Next is calculate the estimated heat transfer area required using A is equal to Q upon U delta Tm. Fifth is select a preliminary heat exchanger configuration. Make a more detailed estimate of the overall heat transfer coefficient based on the preliminary heat exchanger configuration. Seventh is estimate the pressure drop across the heat exchanger. If it is too high, revise the heat exchanger configuration until the pressure drop is acceptable. Eighth is if the new estimate of U is different than the previous estimate, repeat steps 4 through 7 as many times as necessary until the two estimates are the same to the desired degree of accuracy. Input information are needed. In order to start the heat exchanger design process, several items of information are needed as follows. The two fluids involved need to be identified. The heat capacity of each fluid is needed. The required initial and final temperatures for one or the fluids are needed. The design value of the initial temperature for the other fluid is needed. An initial estimate for the value of the overall heat transfer coefficient is needed. In calculation, knowing the first four items allows determination of the required heat transfer rate and the inlet and outlet temperatures of both fluids, thus allowing calculation of the long mean temperature difference delta Tm. With the values now available for Q, U and delta Tm, an initial estimate for the required heat transfer area can be calculated from the equation A is equal to Q upon U into delta Tm. Heat exchanger calculations. For example, estimate the heat transfer area needed to cool 55,000 lb per hour of a light oil. Specific heat is 0.75 BTU per lb degree Fahrenheit from 190 degree Fahrenheit to 140 degree Fahrenheit using cooling water that is available at 50 degree Fahrenheit. That cooling water can be allowed to heat to 90 degree Fahrenheit. An initial estimate of the overall heat transfer coefficient is 120 BTU per hour feet square degree Fahrenheit. Also estimate the required mass flow rate of cooling water. So this figure is shown for your reference. So first calculate the required heat transfer rate for the above indicated light oil. Ampere units. Q is equal to M into Cp into T2 minus T1. So putting the value 55,000 lb per hour into 0.74 BTU lb degree Fahrenheit into 190 minus 140 degree Fahrenheit. So 2035,000 BTU per hour. Next, calculate the long mean temperature difference delta Tm. So T1 is inlet tube side fluid temperature. Light oil hot side is 190 degree Fahrenheit. T2 is outlet cell side fluid temperature. So water cold side is 90 degree Fahrenheit. T2 is outlet tube side fluid temperature. Light oil cold side temperature is 140 degree Fahrenheit. Small T1 is inlet cell side fluid temperature. So water cold side temperature is 50 degree Fahrenheit. So delta Tm is equal to 190 minus 90 minus 140 minus 150 divided by log in 190 minus 90 divided by 140 minus 50. So delta Tn is 100 minus 90 divided by log in 100 divided by 90. So delta Tm is 10 divided by 0.10536, so 94.9 degree Fahrenheit. The preliminary area estimate of the heat exchanger can now be calculated as follows. A is equal to Q upon U into delta Tm. So A is equal to 2035,000 BTU per hour divided by 120 BTU per hour feet square degree Fahrenheit into 94.9 degree Fahrenheit. So A is 178.7 feet square. The required mass flow rate of water can be calculated from Q is equal to M into Cp into delta Tm. So rearranging, M is equal to Q upon Cp into delta Tm. M is equal to 2035,000 BTU per hour divided by 0.74 BTU per LV degree Fahrenheit into 94.9 degree Fahrenheit. So M is 28978 LV per hour. The next step would be the check on the pressure drop for this tube configuration and the specific flow. If the pressure drop is acceptable, then the overall heat transfer coefficient could be re-estimated for this heat exchanger configuration. It is frequently necessary to determine the performance of a particular heat exchanger under conditions of other than that for which it was designed. So overall heat transfer coefficient U is BTU per hour feet square degree Fahrenheit. For the heat exchanger under design, area in feet square, heat transfer area of the heat exchanger under consideration, entering temperature hot in degree Fahrenheit, the fluid temperature on the hot side of the heat exchanger, entering temperature cold in degree Fahrenheit, the fluid temperature on the cold side of the heat exchanger. Example, assume a redesign of a gasoline heat exchanger area 8.9 feet square, flow rate hot 8 GPM, operating on 135 degree Fahrenheit to another heat exchanger, operating on 150 degree Fahrenheit, flow rate hot 10.30 GPM, using the overall heat transfer coefficient 800 BTU per hour feet square degree Fahrenheit. What would be the impact in capacity, calculating only as a comparison? So imperial units, input using 135 degree Fahrenheit. So gasoline 0.53 BTU per LV degree Fahrenheit. Overall heat coefficient is 800 BTU per hour feet square degree Fahrenheit. Area is 8.90 feet square. Entering temperature hot is 135 degree Fahrenheit. Entering temperature cold is 110 degree Fahrenheit. Flow rate hot is 8 GPM. So convert in LV per hour. So 2961.6. So capacity calculation, Q is equal to 2961.6 into 0.53 into 135 minus 110. So 39241 BTU per hour. The delta Tm can be calculated since the integrated heat exchanger area is 8.90 feet square. So A is Q upon U into delta Tm. So 8.90 is equal to 39241 divided by 800 into delta Tm. So delta Tm is 5.55 degree Fahrenheit. Input using 150 degree Fahrenheit. So overall heat coefficient is 800 and area is 8.90 feet square. Entering hot temperature is 150 degree Fahrenheit and entering cold temperature is 110 degree Fahrenheit. Flow rate hot is 10.30 GPM. So convert in lb hour, so 3813. So capacity calculation, Q is equal to 3813 into 0.53 into 150 minus 110. So Q is 80835 BTU per hour. A is equal to Q upon U into delta Tm. So 8.90 is equal to 80835 divided by 800 into delta Tm. So delta Tm is 11.3 degree Fahrenheit. Concept of overall heat transfer coefficient. For a given heat transfer service with known mass flow rates and inlet and outlet temperatures, the determination of Q is direct and delta Tm can be easily calculated. If a flow arrangement is selected, for example long mean temperature difference for pure co-counter and concurrent flow, heating up with steam, the amount of heat required to rise the temperature of a substance can be expressed as follows. Q is equal to m into Cp into delta T. So where Q is quantity of energy or heat in kilojoule or BTU, m is mass of the substance in kg and lb, Cp is specific heat capacity of the substance in kilojoule per kg degree Celsius or BTU per lb degree Fahrenheit. Delta T is temperature rise of the substance in degree Celsius and degree Fahrenheit. Non-flow or batch heating. In non-flow type applications, the process liquid is kept as a single batch within a tank or vessel. A steam coil or steam jacket heats the fluid from a low to a high temperature. In heat exchangers, the product or fluid flow is continuously heated. The mean rate of heat transfer for such applications can be expressed as follows. Q is equal to m into Cp into delta T upon T, where Q is mean heat transfer rate in kilowatt or kilojoule per second or HP or BTU per second. M is mass of the product. Cp is specific heat capacity of the product. dt is change in temperature of the fluid, and T is total time over which the heating process occurs. Following is a table with value of different applications and heat exchanger types given for your reference. Flow or continuous heating process. The mean heat transfer can be expressed as follows. Q is equal to Cp into dt into m upon T, where Q is mean heat transfer rate and m upon T is mass flow rate of the product. Cp is specific heat capacity of the product and dt is change in temperature of the fluid. Calculating the amount of steam. If we know the heat transfer rate, the amount of steam can be calculated as follows. M is equal to Q upon He, where M is mass of steam, Q is calculated heat transfer, and He is evaporation energy of steam. Temperature controlled applications. The term heat exchanger is used to describe all type of equipment where heat transfer is promoted from one fluid to another. For convenience, This broad definition will be applied to the term heat exchanger. In a temperature control application, the inlet temperature of the secondary fluid to the heat exchanger may change with time. This can be achieved by using a control valve on the inlet to the primary side of the heat exchanger as shown in figure. Typical temperature control of a steam or water cell and tube heat exchanger are as follows. A control valve is used to vary the flow rate and pressure of the steam so that the heat input to the heat exchanger can be controlled. Modulating the position of the control valve then controls the outlet temperature of the secondary fluid. A sensor on the secondary fluid outlet monitors its temperature and provide a signal for the controller to compare the actual temperature with the set temperature, and as a result signals the actuator to adjust the position of the control valve. On partially closing the control valve, the steam pressure and the temperature difference fall. Conversely, if the control valve is opened so that the steam mass flow and hence pressure in the heat exchanger rise, the mean temperature difference between the two fluids increase. Altering the steam pressure will also slightly affect the amount of heat energy available in the condensing steam, as the enthalpy of evaporation actually falls with increasing pressure. Temperature design constant. When the datasets are not available and the heat exchanger is already installed in service, TDC can be calculated by observing the steam pressure and finding the steam temperature from steam tables and the corresponding secondary inlet and outlet temperatures at any load. Once the exchanger size is fixed and the design temperature are known, it is easier to predict operating temperature using what could be termed as heat exchanger temperature design constant (TDC). The TDC method does not require logarithmic calculations. TDC is equal to Ts minus T1 upon Ts minus T2, where TDC is a temperature design constant, Ts is steam temperature, T1 is secondary fluid inlet temperature, T2 is secondary fluid outlet temperature. Baffles are used to support tubes and enable a desirable velocity for the fluid to be maintained at the cell side and prevent failure of tubes due to flow induced vibration. There are two types of baffles, plate and rod. Cell side cross flow area are as given by AS is equal to DCB divided by PT, where AS is cell side cross flow area, D is cell inside diameter, C is clearance between tube, B is baffle spacing, and PT is tube pitch. The minimum spacing of baffles normally should not be closer than 1/5 of cell diameter or 2 inch, whichever is greater. The maximum spacing does not normally exceed the cell diameter. Tube support plate spacing determined by mechanical considerations, for example strength and vibration. Maximum spacing is given by B is equal to 74 D की power 0.6. 0.75. Most failures occur when unsupported tube length is greater than 80% due to designer is trying to limit the cell side pressure drop. Baffle cuts can vary between 15% and 45% and are expressed as ratio of segment opening height to cell inside diameter. The upper limit ensures every pair of baffles will support each tube. Current cell side pressure drop correlation are based on 25% cut, which is standard for liquid on cell side. Baffle clearance. The outer tube limit is the diameter created by including the outermost tubes in a tube layout. The actual OTL is usually 1.5 times the design pressure. It is used during a hydrostatic test that detect leak at any joints or the heat exchangers. For example, fixed tube seat clearance are shown below. Cell inside diameter is mm is equal to cell clearance cell ID and OTL in mm. 254 into 10 to 660 into 24 is equal to 11 into 7 upon 16. So greater than is equal to 635 into 25, or clearance cell is 13 divided by 1 by 2. Heat exchanger calculations. Tube seats are usually made from a round flat piece of metal with holes drilled for the tube ends in a precise location and pattern relative to one another. Tubes are attached to the tube seat by pneumatic or hydraulic pressure or by roller expansion. Tube holes are drilled and rimmed and can be machined with one or more grooves. This greatly increases the strength of the tube joint. Heat exchanger bundles. Tube bundles are also known as tube stacks, are designed for applications according to customer requirements, including direct replacement for existing units. There are two types of tube bundles. First is fixed tube seats. A fixed tube seat heat exchanger has straight tubes that are secured at both ends by tube seats welded to the cell. Second is U-tube. As the name implies, the tubes of a U-tube heat exchanger are bent in the shape of a U and there is only one tube seat in a U-tube heat exchanger. Bundle diameter dB can be estimated using constants shown here. dB is equal to dO into nt divided by k1 की power 1 by n, where d0 is tube outside diameter, nt is number of tube. For k1 minus n, see the table. Tube diameters. The most common size used are 5 by 3 by 4 and 5/1. Use the smallest diameter for greater heat transfer area with a minimum of 5 3 by 4 tube due to cleaning, consideration and vibration. For shorter tube lengths, say less than 4 feet, can be used 5 1 by 2 tubes. Tube quantity and length. Select the quantity of tubes per side pass to give optimum velocity. For liquid, 3 to 5 feet per second, 0.9 to 1.52 meter per second can be used. Gas velocities are commonly used 50 to 100 feet per second. If the velocity cannot be achieved in a single pass, consider increasing the number of passes. Tube arrangement. Triangular pattern provides a more robust tube seat construction. Square pattern simplifies cleaning and has a lower cell side pressure drop. Tube pitch is defined as follows: PT is equal to DO plus C, where PT is tube pitch, DO is tube outside diameter, and C is Kilrads. Corrosion fouling. Fouling is deposit formulation, incursion deposition, scaling, scale formation, or sludge formation inside heat exchanger tubes. Corrosion definition. However, if economic determine that some corrosion is acceptable and no data is available from past experience, an allowance of 1 by 16 inch 1.59 mm is commonly applied. Typical fouling coefficients are shown below. It can be shown that the design margin achieved by applying the combined fouling film coefficient is given by pressure drop estimate. The following preliminary conservative estimates are given for pressure drop due to friction. It can be noticed that an additional pressure change occurs if the exchanger is placed vertically. So this table shows pressure drop. Experience based rules. Experience is typically what turns a good engineer into a great engineer. It means someone who can at least estimate the size of a vessel without doing too many calculations. The rules below are for estimation and are not necessary to replace rigorous calculations. When such calculations should be performed, these rules can save your hours and hours of stage of analysis and design. The rules to be considered are as follows. For the heat exchanger equation, Q is equal to UAF LMTD, use F is equal to 0.9 when charts for the LMTD correction factor are not available. Second is, most commonly used tubes are 3 by 4 inch 1.9 cm in outer diameter on a 1 inch triangular spacing at 16 feet long. Third is, typical velocities in the tubes should be 3 to 10 feet per second for liquids and 30 to 100 feet per second for gases. Fourth is, pressure drops are about 1.5 psi for vaporization and 3 to 10 psi for other services. Fifth is, the minimum approach temperature for cell and tube heat exchangers is about 20°F for liquid and 10°F for refrigerants. 6 is, double pipe heat exchangers may be a good choice for area from 100 to 200 feet square. Spiral heat exchangers are often used to slurry interchanger and services containing solids. Plate heat exchangers with gaskets can be used up to 320°F and are often used for interchanging duties due to their high efficiency and ability to cross temperatures. A 5-1 feet cell contains approximately 100 feet square. A 5-2 feet cell contains approximately 400 feet square, and a 5-3 feet cell contains approximately 1100 feet square. Type of cell constructions. TEMAE. The cell is the most common cell type as it is most suitable for most industrial process cooling applications. TEMAF. This cell design provides for a longitudinal flow plate to be installed inside the tube bundles assembly. This plate causes the cell fluid to travel down one half of the tube bundle, then down the other half, in effect producing a counter current flow pattern which is best for heat transfer. TEMA, and H. These cells are most suitable for phase change applications where the bypass around the longitudinal plate and counter current flow is less important than even flow distribution. TEMAJ. This cell is specified for phase change duties where significantly reduced cell side pressure drop are required. They are commonly used in stacked seats with the single nozzle used as the inlet and outlet. A special type of J cell is used for flooded evaporation of cell side fluids. TEMAK. This cell, also termed as Catelli boiler, is specified when the cell side stream will undergo vaporization. The liquid level of a K-cell design should just cover the tube bundle which fill the smaller diameter end of the cell. This liquid level is controlled by the liquid flowing over a weir at the far end of the entrance nozzle. TEMAX. This cell or cross flow cell is most commonly used in vapor condensing applications. Though it can also be used effectively in low pressure gas cooling or heating. It produces a very low cell side pressure drop and is therefore most suitable for vacuum service condensing. TEMAX. This cell or cross flow cell is most commonly used in vapor condensing applications, though it can also be used effectively in low pressure gas cooling or heating. It produces a very low cell side pressure drop and is therefore more suitable for vacuum services condensing. Examples of the TEMA design: BEM, bonnet integral cover, one pass cell, fixed tube seat bonnet. Figure shown here for your reference. BEM, this is the same type of heat exchanger as above but with one tube pass. This type of design configuration shown here. AEM, channel with removable cover, one pass cell, fixed tube seat bonnet. This type of design configuration shown here. AES, channel and removable cover, one pass cell floating head with backing device. This type of design configuration shown here. So friends, if you like this video, then like and share. Also don't forget to subscribe this channel and press bell icon for getting notification of my upcoming videos.